Are we recording?
Yup.
Right now?
Yup.
Hello and welcome to another in the series of power tips for people who do not like technology. Today I've got 3 power tips for you. They involve SkyDemon, but frankly most of them work on kind of other devices as well. So just to get straight into it, instead of all that boring preambling stuff, the first thing I found when I was planning my flights with SkyDemon on a tablet is fat fingers just make it move all over the place. So when you get your protractor and you put it on here and you're trying to measure angles and stuff, if you're not careful, it changes the scale, it changes the direction, it just changes everything. So what I've started doing is if you hold down this button and hold down this button, press them at the same time, you get a screen grab. And that's just fantastic for all sorts of reasons, and that will come into the next tip as well. So once you've got your screen grab, all you do is you go into your photography part and you find your screen grab. This one happens to be here already, which is fantastic. I'm going to plan as a rough thing a trip from Gloucester to Cranfield. So you take your scale. Remember, it's a scale. It's not a ruler. And you line it up, and there you go. And you can draw your trinograph thing on there on your screen with no problem at all, and it doesn't move around. And that just makes it much easier when you're then putting your protractor on to go and see what your tracks are. And then obviously from that, you use your, what's this one? Transair TPS-1 flight computer. Use your circular slide rule effectively to do all your wind calculations, your magnetic calculations, your speed and distance calculations, your fuel consumption calculations, all of that before you write it down on the prog. Now, if you're really modern, you want to kind of get into the top technology, you could use one of these calculators that's got all sorts of other things on it. This is one from ASA, and I would show you how to use it, but I don't know how to use it because that's technology, isn't it? Who would use that? Anyway, so there you go. So that's power tip number 1, is to take a picture of the SkyDemon screen and then draw your trinograph track on top of that. What's the next power tip? Well, you're flying along, you want to keep track of what you're doing. So what I would do personally is, or what I do personally, is I print out the prog that you get in SkyDemon. Here's a great example. And then I take a Stabilo pen, and as I'm flying along, and I've kind of done one from a previous flight here, I colour it in. This is kind of like a progress bar that relies on, the only thing it relies on is this Stabilo pen not running out. And you can get another one, you can keep it the same colour though, but you can have spares. So that's 2 tips. So the second tip, just as a reminder, print out a plug and then colour it in as you go. It just keeps you, it doesn't matter if you go outside the lines either. It's not school. Thirdly, but lastly, we all know the dangers of GPS. We all know the dangers of relying on GPS when those pesky Americans could just turn it off at any time, don't we? Yep. And who's to say it's not accurate? And yeah, it could be jammed or anything. So the best way, but GPS is perhaps GPS's biggest challenge is everyone's flying around with their heads buried in their tablets, their heads buried in their phones, their head buried in their screens. No one wants that. We need to look outside because we all know that the only true way to spot traffic is the Mark 1 eyeball. What I suggest you do is you take your piece of electronic conspicuity, whatever that is, whether it's a transponder, whether it's ADSB out with Sky Echo, whether it's Pilot Aware, whatever it is you're doing, we're not going to get into those religious wars right now, and you turn it on and you transmit so everyone can see you. But you go into SkyDemon, you click the little cog menu, you go down to third-party devices, and you turn it all off. So it will work independently and it will transmit your position. But you don't want that pesky information coming to your SkyDemon screen because all it will do is distract you. You'll be there, you'll be stuck like me. I was like this. I was kind of trying to figure out exactly what was going on with the traffic. I wasn't watching. So no, don't bother with that. Just look out of the window. That's what I suggest. So to recap, 3 particular things. 1, take a screen grab and that makes drawing your track lines easier. 2, take a screen grab, colour it in as you go. That gives you a progress bar. And 3, don't distract yourself with traffic. You probably won't hit it anyway. And that's it. If you like this video and you found it useful, please give us a like. Please leave a comment. And please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.